Do you want to live to be 120? I mean, let's face it, that's a long time. Have you noticed that there's a lot of YouTube videos on how to live a long life? What's funny about this is most of the YouTubers, they're only 40-something years old. Why is this occurring? I'm gonna tell you. The reason you're seeing so many of these videos is because when you get to a certain age, you start fearing the future. There are many things that increase your longevity: eating less food, eating less processed foods, not smoking, and of course, avoiding accidents. Now, I just got finished with a weekend marathon of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, A Fistful of Dollars, and oh my God, what was the other one? It was, A Couple Dollars More. And I actually realized that all three of these spaghetti westerns were probably filmed in the same location with the same actors, almost it looks like on the same day with just different storylines. Well, not that different storylines. But back then, during that era, when they were portraying, the leading cause of death was getting in an argument with someone with a gun. Second was some type of infection. But it certainly wasn't heart disease. I mean, let's face it, no one had heart disease. No one lived past the age of 35. But now we have more control. The world isn't so crazy like it was back, well, no, that's not true. But do you know what the #1 cause of death in America is? It's heart disease and strokes, cardiovascular disease. That's the #1 reason why people die. The second reason is cancer. The third reason are accidents. You'll never guess what the fourth reason is. The fourth reason, of course, is largely unreported because when they do these statistics, they don't seem to show up on those lists of most common deaths. But if you look at the numbers, medical mistakes is number 4. So if we're going to make it to 120 years old, boy, there's a lot of things that we're going to need to solve. But right now, today in our society, there's this mythical number of 120 that we should be living to 120. People have often said that we're destined to live to be 120. But when you look at people that are 80, 90 years old, they've generally made it. They've lived an entirely long life, and maybe they're generally healthy for that age. But you think to yourself, what's their body going to be like in 30 years? And as a general rule, they don't make it. Even people that live to be 100 very often aren't very vibrant. Many are, but the thing is, add 20 years to that equation. You even have people saying 150 years old. Can you imagine if you're 90 years old, living another 60? What is your body going to be like? So having said this, I think it's unrealistic to think that you're going to buy a supplement or you're going to eat a certain way that's going to make you live longer. The real thing that we want to think about is, can we live better? And this is the one thing that I think when people talk about longevity, that they're missing out on the most important part about eating healthy and having a good lifestyle, is that it improves the quality of your life. If I live to be 80 to 85 years old, I want that quality to be good. I just don't want to check off the boxes like a checklist of numbers, but yet I'm lying in a bed with machines hooked up to me, keeping me alive. I want to be vibrant, at least in the time that I'm here on Earth. And that is one thing that the longevity experts seem to miss out on, or at least the ones that I've seen and that you've seen on YouTube, is they're looking at a number as a magical thing that we're aiming for. They want to live 120 years. But what's the quality going to be like for that 120 years? My guess is that science will somehow be able to keep our physical bodies alive for a lot longer than our bodies want to stay alive. So to really summarize this subject, my thought process on this is, how can we live higher quality lives and allow our genetics, luck, medical mistakes, and other things that we have no control over dictate the longevity? This is a difficult subject to talk about because I imagine that when a person is 79 years old and you ask them, what is your goal? The goal generally is always to make it to 80, but to make it to 80 in a healthy way. Let me know what your thoughts are on the subject. If you have specific questions in regard to blood pressure, your own health and wellness, we actually do Zoom appointments as well as telephone appointments. We do these Zoom and telephone appointments from all around the world. So you're more than welcome to call our office, schedule an actual Zoom or a telephone consultation with me. And what we're gonna do is we are going to section off a piece of our day just to speak to you and answer all your questions. So if you're interested in that, there's a link down below. You can get to my website and then just contact us. Now, there is a fee for a Zoom or telephone consultation, so it's not free, but I can promise you this, you're gonna get your money's worth.